What up, world? EstablishedRich coming right back at you. Glasses Malone is accusing Drake of helping finance a campaign to put YG behind bars. But then Glasses went online talking like he could put people at Drake's door. If his message was that internet propaganda can create real-life situations, threatening more real-world consequences may be the dumbest way to prove your point.
The murder of a rapper is unsolved this evening, but investigators appear to be making progress in the investigation. Fox 11's Gina Silva tells us about the search warrant tied to the murder of Drakeo The Ruler.
Years of rumors surrounding the murder of fellow rapper Drakeo The Ruler. Now, CHP investigators are once again turning their attention to YG, whose real name is Keenan Daquan Ray Jackson. They served a search warrant at a Burbank recording studio tied to the rapper as part of the unsolved murder investigation into Drakeo The Ruler, whose real name was Daryl Wayne Caldwell. TMZ captured these images of YG being detained and questioned early Thursday morning as CHP, with assistance from Burbank police, carried out the search warrant.
Doesn't mean YG is guilty. The police are searching for evidence of a homicide.
Criminal defense attorney Dimitri Gorin, who is not connected to this case, says investigators will be looking for cell phones, computers, text messages, or other evidence they believe could help advance the nearly 5-year-old homicide investigation. But Gorin says a search warrant is not the same as an arrest, and YG has not been charged. The investigation goes back to December 2021, when Drakeo The Ruler was stabbed to death backstage at a Los Angeles music festival. The two rappers had been beefing for years, so almost immediately, people started wondering if YG had anything to do with the killing. And because investigators often look into a rapper's music for clues, Gorin says they will be listening to YG's lyrics.
But in looking at the lyrics, YG is saying, look, I'm not guilty. I didn't do this. I haven't been charged. And if I have been arrested and charged, I would be, quote unquote, in prison on the rack. So looking at the lyrics, he's not incriminating himself. He's actually saying, look, I didn't do this crime.
Search warrant puts YG back into the center of a murder case that has followed him for years.
YG's presumed innocent at this point. He has not been arrested and charged. And so the public should keep that in mind before they draw conclusions that he did something really horrible.
First thing we need to do is separate what actually happened from what the internet is saying. Authorities executed a search warrant at a Burbank property connected to YG as a part of the ongoing Drakeo The Ruler investigation. YG was temporarily detained while the search was conducted, and then he was let go. Those are the facts we can verify. What has not been verified is Glasses Malone's claim that Drake paid bloggers, bots, or internet personalities to push a narrative that connects YG to Drakeo's homicide. Maybe Glasses knows something the public don't. Maybe he's seen payments, messages, or communications that connect Drake to a coordinated campaign. But if he has that type of evidence, he needs to show it. Because accusing somebody of financing propaganda that helped trigger a police operation is not a small thing in hip-hop. This is a serious accusation. And right now, the public search don't connect Drake to a warrant, an investigation, or a decision to detain YG. The YG and Drakeo conversation didn't start with Drake. It has been floating around Los Angeles and the internet for years. There have been public rumors, old clips, and witness claims that have kept YG's name in the conversation. The Los Angeles Times recently reported that a member of Drakeo's security claimed under oath that he saw YG involved in the scuffle. YG has denied any involvement, and the claim has definitely not been proven. But that alone shows why it's disingenuous to act like Drake is the only person or force keeping this thing going. Drake may have fans pushing the story. He may have internet accounts that attack everybody involved with Kendrick Lamar. That is possible, but it's not proven. And if Glasses wants people to take his claim seriously, he cannot replace receipts with anger.
This is the type. And see, this is the gangbang in me. He said, why don't we have 700 to 1,000 viewers here? Because it's not about Drake. I could kick us back in. You want me to?
That's crazy.
You want me to put 1,000 people in here?
That's crazy.
You want me to put 1,000 people in here for him?
What kind of statement is that?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what kind of,
like, what does the statement say?
You want me to go? I got some things in my mind, cuz, that I didn't talk about.
He wants to hear about Drake.
Yeah.
He
does.
Is
that the way he trying to get?
Yeah, is that the way
he wants me to start
to
kicking cuz back in right now?
Like, what is? Why don't?
Like, I don't think y'all understand this. Cuz don't like when I kick his back in, because I'm not the rest of these. See, he can spend that money and YG life. He can spend that money at YG life. Let me tell you what his mark ass is doing. He's spending money and financing Drakeo campaign to try to his boy life and get him arrested because he mad about a battle.
I understand the foundation of Glass's frustration. He believes somebody outside of Los Angeles is using money and influence to manipulate street politics from a safe distance. In his mind, this is not just people arguing over music. He believes online stories can damage reputations, attract police attention, and create real problems between people who actually live in the city. That part of his argument is worth discussing. The internet can take any unproven claim, repeat it 10,000 times, and make it feel like something everybody already knows is true. And the people being discussed are left dealing with the consequences in real life. But Glasses destroys his own message when he starts bragging about what he can have done to somebody. You cannot condemn another man for allegedly using other people to create danger, then respond by claiming you can use other people to create danger. That is the same logic with a different zip code. And Glasses Malone is too old and too experienced to be talking like he don't understand how them words can come back on him. These are the exact emotional decisions we warn the youngsters about. Do not get online when you angry. Do not make threats because you want people to know you serious. Do not say something permanent during a temporary moment of anger. Glasses knows all that. I ain't gotta tell him. But when his emotions took over, he started performing the same crash out mentality that men his age should be helping the next generation escape. There is nothing powerful about telling the internet what you can have done to somebody. Real power is being angry enough to do something and still having the discipline not to do it. If Glasses truly believes Drake is paying for a campaign, he should follow the money. Identify the accounts, show the payments, expose the communication, put the evidence on the table. That would damage Drake's credibility. Making street threats only damages Glasses' credibility. It makes the audience stop asking if the claim is true and ask if he's losing control of himself.
I swear to God, that little shot up and all that, I make his life horrible. All that living in out here, cuz that burnt up. See, the difference is, cuz it's like real power. See, that's rented power. You rent it, you pay for it. Real power, cuz, is when it's actually real, when it's for you just for the measure.
That part.
You don't want me to start kicking cuz back in. You don't want me to start announcing to the world exactly what type of hoe ass doing. See, Harry, y'all be fans of cuz, and y'all want me to go. I'm not really tripping about, it's not an important topic, cuz. You wanted to do it. This ain't no conspiracy. This is a fact. And you wouldn't care it's a fact or not because you can't get cut out your I know cuz. You don't know cuz you a fan. And you not listening to me cuz because you so busy thinking you gotta like cuz music. You don't want me kicking this back in because I'm not the rest of these. I don't get emotional when I'm talking to Buddy. I get emotional when I'm talking to you. The fact that you want me to kick cuz back in. I have avoided talking about this because I'm like, you know what, cuz? I knew how much y'all look up to cuz and y'all like got pissed on and all this old punk ass y'all like. But I can turn this motherfucker up in my sleep. And I'm not the rest of these, there ain't nothing he can do about it. I'm not, and he'll tell you I'm not the rest of these, there ain't nothing he can do about it. You start playing them games with me cuz I'm not, none of them, I'm on all the bullshit. So you don't want me to start talking about cuz. It was hell when I was talking about cuz. He was crying when I was talking about cuz. He was mentioning when I was talking about cuz. I'm not the rest of these, man. I'm not them, bro. Be happy that I'm not trying to use cuz to profit.
This is what Glasses needs, somebody around him who's willing to tell him the truth. He don't sound like a West Coast leader protecting the coast. He sounds like a man so angry at Drake that he's willing to put his freedom and reputation inside a conversation that didn't require either one. Because now, if anything happens around Drake, whose clip do you think people are going to replay first? Whose name do you think the internet is going to bring back up? Who do you think they have to explain what he meant when he said what he could have done? The man who announced it on camera. Glasses is accusing Drake of being reckless with other people's safety while being reckless with his own words. That contradiction is why the live stream made him look immature. It's not because he's too old to be angry. A man can be angry at any age. It is because age and experience are supposed to teach you what anger costs when you let it run your mouth. Glasses has been around this industry. He's been around the street politics. He has seen people lose their freedom over conversations they thought were private. So why would he hand the world a clip that could be interpreted as a warning or a threat? And the biggest problem is, YG don't need this type of help. YG has already been cuffed up in a search related to this investigation. His lawyers need facts. They need to know what the warrant was seeking, what authorities took, and whether or not the search was legal. They do not need Glasses Malone turning the case into a Drake versus the West Coast story. And let's be honest about something else. Glasses Malone has been publicly critical of Drake for years. He has questioned whether Drake belongs in hip-hop culture, attacked his lawsuit, and repeatedly positioned him as an outsider. That don't automatically make Glasses wrong, but it does mean he should be extra careful not to force every West Coast problem on Drake.
Drake?
When you already dislike somebody, every coincidence can start looking like a conspiracy. Every fan page becomes a paid agent. Every negative story becomes a campaign. And every police action becomes something the person you don't like must have funded. So I'm gonna take y'all out like this. Glasses Malone may be right that internet propaganda is playing a dangerous role in the YG and Drakeo situation. He may even be right that people with money are pushing certain narratives. That happens in music, business, politics, and entertainment. But saying Drake personally funded this propaganda, that requires proof. Not instinct, not street logic, not a theory built around the fact that YG stood next to Kendrick. Evidence. Until Glasses produces that, he's not exposing a campaign. He is adding another unproven story to the same internet machine that he claims to hate. And the threats make everything worse. You can't say you're trying to protect Los Angeles while using language that could bring more attention, more investigation, and more conflict to Los Angeles. You can't claim you stopping the war when you're talking like you ready to start one. Glasses should have used his platform to demand proof, responsible reporting, and fair treatment for YG. Instead, he let his emotions turn this from a serious media argument into a street performance. That don't make Drake look guilty. It makes Glasses look out of control. If Drake funded this campaign, then show us. If bloggers were paid, name them and put out the receipts. But if there's no evidence yet, stop threatening people over a theory. Because the fastest way to lose moral high ground is to become more reckless than the person you accusing. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. EstablishedRich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.